From WCIA3 Plus, with Mitchell Wright and Adam Sherwinski. This is Binging with the Boys.
What's going on, everyone? I'm Mitchell Wright. I'm your host of the Binging with the Boys podcast. We talk about movies, franchises, TV stuff, animation, to live action, to actors, directors, everything under the sun. Of course, I'm joined by my buddy, Adam Sherwinski.
Whoa, buddy, that's a strong word. It's an accurate word, but it's a strong word.
You don't think
you thought I was going to insult you. I wasn't going to insult you.
That feels like an insult. That feels like an insult.
No, it's not.
So we're not buddies?
No, I'm saying it's a strong word, yet it's an accurate word.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah,
Okay, so we're buddies. How you doing?
Doing all right. Back's feeling better. I hurt my back earlier this week. I'm also wearing my glasses because I need to get used to them.
I pulled my shoulder too. We haven't had a week. We've had a week.
Yeah.
It's been a little bit, but your back's feeling good.
Better. I wouldn't say it's good, but it's better.
You got the use the Theragun, and then
I need
like
to get
an ice pack. Oh, I gotta grab the ice pack. It's still in the Studio B freezer.
No, it's not. I took it home.
Oh, you did? Okay, cool.
I took it home and I'm refreezing it.
Keep
right
it,
now.
keep it as long as you need.
Okay.
As long until the.
This has nothing to do with our show. We're just chatting back and forth.
No, but we gotta catch up.
Yeah.
So yeah, today we're talking rom-coms ahead of Valentine's Day.
Love is in the air.
Yeah, February 14th is coming up soon, at least for when we're recording this. So yeah, we're talking love movies, we're talking rom-coms, and everything under the sun of LOV.
What's your favorite rom-coms? You have the whole list. You have more of a list. I don't do rom-coms as much.
I have a huge list on my phone of
He pulls out a whole phone.
Yeah,
folks.
Pulls on a whole phone. Yeah. I have a list of a lot of movies, actually, great movie watches, from animated to goofy movies such as Anchorman.
Yeah,
ones that like don't have a genre, that just kind of like
Anchorman's a comedy.
I know, but Anchorman is like a goofy comedy, like
it's screwball comedy.
Right. I wouldn't put in the same comedy space as. I don't know. You know, it's got its own like goofy comedy genre, I guess. But
funny movie. It is comedy.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Kind of like how other comedy movies are like super bad. That's a comedy movie.
Yeah, that's like a goofy like
the same as Anchorman. It's like boy comedy.
But I think other comedies like some Inglourious Bastards. Like I guess
that's not a comedy. That is a Quentin Tarantino movie. That is a drama with comedy in it.
Yeah, dramedy, but more drama.
It's very and it's kind of action packed too.
And very dark, but
it's a dark movie too. Yeah, it's historical too. It's historical fiction.
But we're talking rom-coms.
Let's circle back to rom-coms. Yeah,
let me get my list off. This list is.
Can I tell you my favorite first while you're looking at your list?
Oh yeah, of course.
So one of my favorites is I Love You, Man. It's not like a traditional rom-com where it's boy meets girl. They just have a weird little thing, and then there's this going on. There's this whole thing. No, straight up, it's about Paul Rudd's character, who is just a dude who is engaged to his. He's got his fiance, who is played by Rashida Jones, does a great job. And the whole thing is like, man, who's going to be your best man for your wedding? I don't have a best man because
I don't have any friends.
I don't have any guy friends. Yeah, he has a lot of friends who are girls, and then girlfriends is what he's had throughout his life, but never really a lot of guy friends. So his whole quest is to find at least one groomsman, his best man, and he doesn't have one. So he kind of goes on like, not dates, I would say, but like, he goes on little like friend gatherings.
Yeah.
At one point,
friend dates. He can call them
friend dates. Yeah, Lou Ferrigno's one of them. His brother is another one, who I think is Andy Samberg in that movie.
Yeah, and Andy Samberg, Jon Favreau as well.
Jon Favreau is one of them. Oh yeah, that's Rashida Jones's friend's husband, and he just like absolutely does not get along.
Oh, Joe Trujillo is in it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The guy from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Same with Andy Samberg, but I can't remember. It says his name is Lonnie.
Lonnie, yeah. Lonnie. But yeah, everything you got. Everything you got.
Thank you.
Everything you got.
Give me everything you got.
His gym bro. Yeah. So it's more so about like finding that love between two dudes, in like like a broy way. And so he's already got his girlfriend or his fiance now, but now he needs to find his actual dude bro friend, and he makes a couple of them. Like I said, Lou Ferrigno ends up being one of his groomsmen. I just like saying Lou Ferrigno because who doesn't want to have the Hulk as their friend?
That's so cool.
Jason Segel ends up being like his best man, and like ends up being like his bromance. So Sydney, yeah, it's his name, Sydney. And like they go to a Rush concert, which
Sydney Fifi, which awesome, like great concert to go to as two guys. Like that's
a guy thing. That's an uncle thing. That's like your
uncle.
You're like, oh, what's your thing? Oh yeah, like a dad or uncle thing. But I was also at the same age when I watched that movie. I was like, I love Rush too. I want to go to this. Rush is great. I still love Rush.
They're going on their last tour this year.
I saw that,
and for September, that's around when my dad's birthday is. That was one of my thoughts. Is I was like, we should go to a Rush concert, but the singer isn't the lead singer.
No, it's somebody else, and then drummer. It's the drummer.
Or drummer. I'm sorry.
They still have the lead singer, the drummer, because he passed away. Neil Peart passed away.
Yeah.
That was a couple years ago. That was back in 2020, I think.
But I was like, this would be such a great gift for my dad to be. You know,
everybody's uncle is here. Woo!
I know, yeah, but
cool uncle.
That movie is really good.
It
is rated R, so take your parent with you if you're going to watch it or going to see it.
It's definitely not for children, but it's for young adults. And I think
it's one of those just like belly laugh movies.
What year did that come out? 2011? 2012?
2009.
2009.
Yeah.
That's in the same era as like Superbad and Pineapple Express. They're all kind of like, those are a little bit more like buddy, goofy comedies.
That's what I mean. Is that those are the
screwball
goofy
comedies, and this is more like, or not screwball, I guess is the right term, but like those are more like haha, like just pure comedies. But it has that late 2000s, early 2000 teens splash of vibe in it. Mm-hmm. So whenever I think of I Love You Man, I think of those other movies too. Because I remember Superbad was super popular when I was in high school and middle school.
Yeah,
so.
it fits in with Superbad for me.
Knocked Up,
Hangover,
Knocked Up to not 50 First Dates.
50 First Dates is a comedy,
but it's an Adam Sandler movie. It's different. It's a different animal.
Adam Sandler really has his own genre, obviously, of comedy.
You just call them Adam Sandler movies. It's a Sandler movie.
Because it brings out the shabba-dabba,
or the very aggressive, like it's shabba-dabba,
or just like angry.
Yeah, that's his character. Is either really goofy and stupid or angry.
You watched Happy Gilmore too, right?
Yeah, I did.
I have not seen it. Is it? It's like for nostalgia because I've seen the first movie.
The beginning is very depressing.
Yeah. Okay.
And then it gets better. Bad Bunny's in it. I like Bad Bunny's in it. He's actually a pivotal character
he's
too.
a bigger character. He's the caddy, right? He's
our caddy. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have to watch that. But yeah, I would align those in the same kind of genre, if you will.
I feel like I Love You Man also kind of reminds me, like when I think of that movie, because Paul Rudd's also in 40. This is 40.
This is 40. Yeah.
Which is like a spinoff of Knocked Up.
Yep.
Which is all in the same kind of like.
And he also does 40-year-old virgin with Steve Carell.
Yeah, he did do that, but is that a Judd Apatow movie?
It feels like it's the same.
These all feel like Judd Apatow movies.
Yeah, these are all those same.
Is this is I Love You Man a Judd Apatow movie? I feel like it is. You're going to Google it real quick. Google's your best friend when you want to look up movies, and IMDb too. But those are like the same like area of those kind of movies, late 2000s or late 2000 teens. But I Love You Man is my favorite because it's not super lovey-dovey, because the characters that are like the love interests are already in love. It's already established. It's the bromance that's more of the key thing.
Screenplay, John Hamburg, Larry Levine.
Okay.
Director, John Hamburg.
So not a Judd Apatow movie.
No, but no, I mean
a lot of people who are in Judd Apatow movies.
Yeah,
though.
I was gonna say very much up at the same realm, and I'm sure in the same, maybe in the same studio, or maybe it's
maybe I don't know.
Similarly.
But that's one I like. Another one I like that we were talking about today that I just forgot was really a classic rom-com in my book. We were just talking about Sandler. 50 First Dates is so good.
I love that movie.
Drew Barrymore is good in it.
It's a very classic movie. It's a very feel-good movie. At the end,
it's
obviously,
sad at points.
It is. Even the ending is a little melancholy. You're left in this realm of like he has to do this every single day,
and he does it because he loves her.
Yes. But what's great is that she comes out, breakfast in bed, realizing, okay, I've been married. I do love this man, but you know that she has to wake up every day going like.
And like 50 First Dates, the whole point is he's 50 times she has to fall in love with him. She gets to fall in love with him, and he's like, I'm already there, but she has to fall in love with me every single day.
Every day she gets to fall in love,
which is kind of like aw.
Which is kind of cool. Could you imagine finding your partner?
Yeah.
And then every single day you get to like
reintroduce yourself,
that like introduction part.
Yeah, that might be a lot to take in. I don't know how realistic it is.
Oh, absolutely.
We have 2 kids. Wait, we what?
Yeah, all of a sudden we're married. Oh my gosh. Oh, we have 2 kids. Oh, they're in college now. Oh, we've had a life. Oh, wow. When her memory is stuck at that.
She's stuck on one day.
Well, that one day.
Yeah. The brother in that is the guy who plays Rudy, Sean Astin.
You mean in 50 First?
50 First Dates. I mean, they've got a pretty decent cast. Drew Barrymore.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's Adam Sandler, so he's gonna have all his buddies in there.
Yeah.
Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider's like my least favorite part of that movie.
Louis Strauss. excuse me, Lucia Struss. Sean Astin.
Sean Astin plays the brother. He does. That's what I love about Sean Astin. Whenever you put him in a role, I don't see him as either Rudy or he's very good at acting because he just picks whatever.
Who do you see him as? Who do you see him?
Well, sometimes I'm like either he's Rudy, and like people would see him as Rudy from Rudy. You ever seen Rudy?
Yeah.
And then another big role he's had as the Lord of the Rings. He's.
I was just gonna say, how about Sam Gange?
Samwise Gamgee. Yeah,
I'm saying Gange or Gang.
Gange, yeah.
I'm thinking of Gange. I'm thinking of Miles Morales.
Spider-Man's always on this guy's brain.
No.
But yeah, Samwise Gamgee. That's who his character it plays in the Lord of the Rings movies. So, but I mean, he can play multiple roles and play different characters. He's whatever. He was Winona Ryder's character or boyfriend in Stranger Things. I mean, there's just a lot of different things he's been in. It's like he does well. He does his job well, basically. I'm saying. I'm not
absolutely.
He's not like one of those where it's like I see him, I'm like, oh look, it's Frodo. Oh look, it's this person. You know, with other actors.
Yeah, he's in the Goonies. He's in
Yep,
Click.
Goonie.
You know, he seems to be a lot on that realm of the Adam Sandler.
I forgot he was in
sure.
Click. That was right.
Yeah, Click's an old one that surfaces in my brain from
Of Adam Sandler
because it's a little bit.
Wouldn't call that one a rom-com.
No, I wouldn't call it a rom-com. I also. It's more of a dramedy too. Like
it's sad.
Realization
It's like very existential at points too, and like, but yeah, we can talk about more about Sandler movies at a different time. But yeah, 50 First Dates is a good one. Probably the worst part of that movie is Rob Schneider, at my point, because he always plays the same like
very similar, very outlandish, but kind of like almost too much to handle type of character.
And it's also characters that are like, bro, you probably shouldn't be doing that character. Yeah. It doesn't age well.
Yeah,
in that regard,
that doesn't length well.
Does the gross out comedy, and then it's one of those movies that like you watch it, you see Rob Schneider do something, and it's like, oh yeah, I forgot I'm watching a Sandler movie.
You know what? I didn't hate Benchwarmers. His role in Benchwarmers is good, but we got to take a quick break.
Yeah.
But we'll be right back. We'll talk about more rom-coms and stuff coming up right after this. Welcome back to the show. I'm Mitchell Reif. We've been talking about rom-coms today. We've been talking about good stuff.
What are your favorite rom-coms? I already asked that question.
Yeah, so I've got a list here of a bunch of stuff. La La Land is one of the top.
That's one I've wanted to watch for so long, and I just haven't gotten around to it.
It's really, really good.
It's a musical, right?
Emma Stone. Yeah, it's a musical. Emma Stone, Ryan Gosling.
Got a lot of awards during award season not too long ago.
Oh, a long time ago, actually.
I mean, long time ago, but you know.
Compared
to like the 80s, I mean that's a long time ago.
Yeah, that's true. La La Land, yeah, Ryan Gosling, Emma Stone, struggling jazz pianist is Ryan's character, and then an aspiring actor is Emma Stone's character. They meet, fall in love. It's one of those classic tropes, very similar to Harry Met Sally, where
they don't like each other first.
All of a sudden, like they don't end up, and then years later, you realize they realize their loves. But now I'll only give you that because it is such a really, I think, a rich movie of music. There's a lot of dancing. It's a performative movie.
Yeah.
But it's really good. So that's a good one. Ghosted is a great one. That's with Ana de Armas.
Who would ever do that to Ana de Armas? Who would ever ghost her? Why would you want to ghost her?
No, it's not her. It's her and then Chris Evans, and she ghosts Chris Evans.
What?
And the plot is she's like this secret spy. She's like a John Wick type of character, even though she does end up playing like ballerina. And
you are selling me on movies I have not watched yet. I'm just telling you, he's doing a good job at this.
I've got a great list. So anyway, she ghosts Chris Evans after a wonderful night. Chris is this like coffee maker barista, I think, or he's like trying to make it at something. I'll have to look at that. Sorry, people, if you've seen this in your.
They're like yelling at the TV screen.
They're like, Mitch, that's not what happened.
That's not what happens.
Cole falls head over heels for enigmatic,
yeah,
like Enigma or
enigmatic, yeah,
Sadie. But then makes the shocking discovery that she's a secret agent. Before they can decide on the second date, Cole and Sadie are swept away on an international adventure to save the world. But the key is when he's ghosted, he's like sending a million texts. He's like, "What's going on? Are we like this? Are we like that? Are we doing something? Are we more than what we're not?"
Right.
And she's obviously not answering. She's overseas on a mission, and he like finds her and like just like shows up. And of course, she's like, "Why are you following me? What's wrong with you?" And of course,
because I love you.
Yeah, he's like, "I thought we had a connection." So that's a great one because you never expect that to be the opposite role with the guys and the gals, I think. And Chris Evans is one of those casts that you're like, he's being overbearing to this lady. That's pretty crazy. Blade Runner, I consider a rom-com. 2049.
2049 you do, but not the original Blade Runner?
I mean, yes and no. But because
if you're going to count one, you should probably count the other.
Yes, you're right. But because it's
Which
Mr.
I would never,
Ford.
ever in my million years, as I'm adjusting my chair, consider the original Blade Runner a rom-com.
No, I wouldn't.
That's why I'm saying why 2049.
I should probably
explain yourself, sir.
I should probably remove it from the comedy section, but it is a romantic movie, I think.
We're talking about rom-coms, not just romantic movies.
You're right. Yeah. But it's, about the love for his daughter, the love for, things going on. And, Ryan Gosling's character in that movie, constantly is finding a lot of sadness, misses his love.
You look lonely.
You look lonely. That scene. That's a big scene out there, or at least it was a couple years ago.
Big meme,
when that came out. Yeah, it is. But also there's some impact and truth behind that sort of loneliness and longing for, I guess, that compassion. So it's very interesting to see it in that light. Before we go, that's another one I've told you about before. Where Chris Evans is a trumpet player in New York, finds this gal.
Oh, yeah, and subverts it.
And they never end up together, but it is this story of like longing love. So great movie there too as well. The Gorge, that one is with Miles Teller, and I wish we could show some trailers, guys. Watching at home, we will get that figured out so we can start doing that.
I will say that one thing I find interesting is that with this show today, we're just giving you ideas for date night when you don't want to go out.
Yeah,
here's some movies that you can watch.
This is great date night. Our show, I think, airs and premieres on Fridays, so hopefully.
Look at that! You got plans for the day before Valentine's Day, the day after, the day of too. If you don't feel like going out,
the day before, you know what you're gonna do.
Before, during, and after.
Valentine's Day, you're gonna watch this show. You got a wonderful.
You got to write down notes. Take notes right now. Pull out that pen and paper.
I'll give you a pause. There you go. Get it ready. The Gorge, 2 highly trained operatives are appointed to posts in the guard towers on opposite sides.
Oh, I wanted to see this.
The Gorge.
I wanted to see this, yeah.
A vast and highly classified area. It's protecting the world from a mysterious evil that lurks within. Both of them don't know what's down there. They're not told. One's from Russia, one's from the U.S., and so she is from afar. She's looking ahead, and then all of a sudden,
Anya Taylor-Joy, right?
Anya Taylor-Joy. Thank you. Yeah.
Anya Taylor-Joy.
I didn't have the cast pulled up here, but I see it now. Yes, and Miles Teller, and of course, they're not allowed to talk to each other. They're not allowed to do anything. The only thing they have is their survival equipment, basically,
right.
And they're both really adapted towards doing that, and so. Lo and behold, they're relaxing one night, and all of a sudden he looks over with his binoculars, and she's like, "It's my birthday. I'm making waves. I'm doing something crazy against the rules," type of thing. And of course, he kind of catches on to that and finds a way over, and the romance spurs from there. But it also turns into this like dark horror romance movie. It is like very good.
Kind of reminds me of stories I've heard or like short stories I've seen of late. You have 2 people in an apartment complex or 2 different apartment buildings across the street, like in New York City.
Yes.
And like one is like flagging to the other one. They see each other every morning, but they just like, quick little hi or whatever. And then eventually they start dating kind of deal. That's what it reminds me of that, except with a gorge and spies and all that. So interesting take on that movie. I like that. That's something I'll have to sit down and watch. Mitchell is 100% binging romantic comedies more than I am, as we've probably we've just mentioned before. But I noticed the theme in a lot of your romantic comedy movies or romance movies. There's a lot of action in them, almost to the point where we wouldn't call them a comedy.
You know what? You're right about that. There's sometimes with action, they slip in comedy with like the pieces of movement that are going around the scene. Like, some guy in the background will get hit by something, or like, an unplanned slip here and there, which is kind of goofy and funny. So I guess it's those little moments that make it
He likes romantic action is what you're telling me. Gunfights and kissing is what you like.
But I will say, I'll point out a couple different ones here. Regretting You. I think I told you about that. So a devastating accident reveals a shocking betrayal as Morgan Grant and her daughter Clara explore.
Speaking to the mic, Mitchell. I can't hear you very well.
Excuse me. Morgan Grant and her daughter Clara, they explore what's left behind as they confront family secrets, redefine love, and rediscover each other. So, Clara is Morgan's daughter. Morgan and Clara, they're her husband and her father pass away. but also at the same time, we lose. Wow, I'm missing some of the cast. It's just not pulling up here. Anyway. Yeah, so Chris Grant, Scott Eastwood, Clint's son.
Oh, okay.
He and another gal in the car, they're like, it's this love affair thing. So that they die. They do. So Scott Eastwood's character and this other gal die. It's not his wife. It's his best friend's wife.
Wow.
And so you're like, what's going on? They never reveal what happened. And all of a sudden, they're starting to figure out what's going on. And they end up finding love in the end with the pair that should have been together. It's this weird love triangle. Love it. The drama is real. Go watch that. So Regretting You is good. And I got a lot. But
you know what else?
You know what we could talk about is yesterday's one. When Harry Met Sally.
Yeah, that's the one that I think a lot of our older viewers that watch this will be like, oh, I've seen that a million times. Billy Crystal. Who doesn't love Billy Crystal? I love how it starts out with, this is my first time watching it all the way through, and I've seen clips before and everything. I'll have what she's having. I've seen that clip before, and I've heard that quote a million times. But it's an adult movie for sure. You don't want to. You have to watch it. You and your significant other. I would not have the kids in the room watching with you, just because. It's also a movie that has. I don't watch a lot of movies with Meg Ryan, so I was like, this is probably the first movie I was like, oh yeah, it's a Meg Ryan starring movie.
I know I forgot. I mean,
she hasn't really done a lot of stuff recently, is what it is.
Right. Her older stuff, I'm just like, man, Meg Ryan, she was so beautiful. I mean, it is very beautiful.
I was like,
and yeah, I was like, throughout the movie, I was like, wow, Meg Ryan. Like, hello.
The movie starts out with, they have intermission clips. It's a Rob Reiner movie, by the way. So that's part of the reason why I watched it, because I was like, oh, Rob Reiner, he recently passed away with him and his wife, tragically. And so I wanted to watch a little bit of that. And, I watched it. And first of all, as I'm watching it, I'm like, this is 100% like Billy Crystal's kind of comedy and Rob Reiner's kind of comedy, too. Because there is comedy in it. I mean, Billy Crystal's always making comments. And, sometimes they're funny little jokes here and there, little jabs about this, that, or the other.
And you know what's funny?
They're funny ones, too.
Back in the day of those comedies, they had such, actors that had... I don't want to say that the actors nowadays don't have their lines down pat, but you hire these comedians to act in these movies, and you almost know that they're going to ad-lib, they're going to toss in their own personality into the movie, and you see that a lot with Billy.
Yeah,
in his
Billy Crystal is just playing Billy Crystal, even though he's playing Harry.
But he's adding things left and right, I guarantee. And it's just very, apparent to see his personality on screen.
It puts the whole typical rom-com on its head a little bit. It's not like boy meets girl situation, and then they fall in love. It's more like, what happens is he's kissing another woman at college at University of Chicago.
Like the first scene
is him kissing another woman. You're thinking, oh, that must be Sally. That's not Sally. That's Sally's roommate or friend. Sally pulls up in a car. It's like, all right, let's go. We're going to New York, from Chicago to New York. 18-hour drive. We'll switch shifts. And he's like, oh, okay. And you get in the car, and they're two polar opposites. She's very uptight. She's very clean. She's very straight edge. Very joyful person. Like I'm gonna go get a perky girl, perky gal. And he's over here like eating grapes.
Yeah.
You ever think about death?
You ever think about death? And then
I was like, whoa. And
then he spits, and then it just hits the window, and he's like, oh, I'll roll the window down.
Yeah. And so it's like you're watching. I'm like, well, these are two polar opposite people. He makes very I would say, bad remarks about things. And the first scene where they're first getting dinner on the way to New York.
Yes.
They kind of talk about can a woman be friends with a man without any
romantic intentions,
no strings,
And he's like, no.
And he's like, no. And she's like, oh, okay. We'll talk more about this movie because we have to wrap up. But I will say that it's an interesting movie. We have to dissect it more.
Yeah, we'll dissect it when we come back. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show, Binging with the Boys. We're here. We're ready. We're talking about When Harry Met Sally.
Classic.
It's a classic rom-com. If you haven't seen it, it was made way back in the day. I wanna say
he makes it sound like the 80s were like we're talking about Casablanca, which is brought up a lot in the movie, by the way, the movie Casablanca, which is not a rom-com.
1989,
it's just a romantic movie. 89, that's not that long ago.
No, not that long ago, but long enough to call it an oldie, I would say.
Wow.
Or clarify.
The young guy over here.
I would say maybe it clarifies as an oldie.
Anything that's past 2000, he's like, that's old, man.
You know what?
Little baby Mitchell over here.
Yeah, maybe a little bit, but that's okay. That's okay. We can still be both movie fans.
He gets nostalgic about 2012. I'm just saying. It's like, I remember that.
I do. I mean, I
do too a little bit, but I was also in high school.
I was a kiddo.
Yeah.
You know, age is different. That's okay.
So yeah, Harry Met Sally, as I was talking before the break.
I wanted to mention, he never switches off. He never drives.
He never does. No.
No. Even when in the beginning of the movie. So if you're watching this,
I thought he did. Wait, I thought he did at one point.
I don't
It was very
think he did.
short-lived. No, when they're pulling up to the diner, I thought he was driving.
No, I don't think
I don't
so,
remember.
Because I remember him being by the driver door, and then he walks on the other side, and she gets in. But I just love that fact where he's walking up to the car, and she's like, "You want to drive first?" And then he's like, "No, you're already there. Let's." Yeah,
he's not. He's kind of a jerk in the beginning. He gets better.
Jerk, for sure.
He gets better.
Well, he's learning, and he doesn't like you mentioned before. We took a quick break. Sally goes at the diner. She goes, can a guy be friends with or she believes that a guy can be friends with a girl without having any romantic intentions. And
pause that real quick.
Billy doesn't believe that.
Yeah. Billy Crystal's character.
Yeah. But you were going to say?
What I was going to say is I'm going to pull a pause on that. It's like, what do you think? Do you think that's a true statement?
Yeah.
I do.
I mean, the guys can be friends with a girl without having romantic intentions.
I think a lot of people always think that my mother used to do this. I'm going to call it my mom. Mm-hmm. She used to say whenever I mentioned a gal, gal, whatever in high school. Yeah.
Do we like gal?
I like gal. When I was in high school, I'd mention a gal or, somebody, one of my friends, like, oh yeah, I'm hanging out with XYZ.
So and so.
And
obviously
mom
the
goes,
question is always
so
like,
when are you going to ask her out? Ooh. No, she didn't do that. She goes, so when you asking her out, do you like her? Yeah. And it's like, well, first of all, no, she's got a boyfriend. Second of all,
she's a friend.
She's a friend. And a lot of gals, I will say throughout my life, they've just been friends and just friends and nothing more. Good. And
here's what I'll say is my mom will do I got to pan back to me because she does this whole like look thing. So she'll be like over here. Ooh, let's
don't beat your microphone over it. Come on, man.
She'll be chopping
what did the microphone do to you?
In the kitchen doing some things, and then I mentioned a gal's name or something, and she always goes, so and so, naming her. What's this about? When did you meet her? What's
her blood type?
Yeah, what's her blood type?
What's her social security?
And then the first
does she have brothers?
The first description is or the first additive is like, oh that blank 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 would be so great in the family. I went to go get a massage or something, professional massage over Christmas break. I told you about that.
Okay.
It happened to be a lady that was giving me the massage, and she was like, her name is Sky, and she was like, wouldn't it be great if you guys married? We'd have a massage, artist or masseuse or whatever in the family. And I was like,
okay.
So yeah, that's parents though. That's parents for you. You gotta admit that.
I mean, my father doesn't pester me about that as much. And does yours?
Not back in the day. Now he's like, a little bit investment here and there, but it's more so I think because my sister's getting ready to start having kids, and he's thinking down the line. He's retired. My mom's now retired, so it's like
I must protect the family legacy.
Yeah, it's like
the name must
Mitchell must pass on the name of Rife.
Yeah, well,
he must.
At least he's already got grandkids, so he's got that.
Yeah, he's moving.
But I'm the only soldier, so we'll see what happens.
Hey, Adam's got this, right?
Oh, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it. But what I want to say is that it's a very interesting paradigm because our question is, and it's the question through the whole movie.
Yeah,
is
very,
can
very
a man and a woman be just friends?
And it's a theme though.
It's the theme of the movie. It's that is the theme. And so two characters, they make their trip back from once they get to New York. Basically, it's like have a good life. See ya.
Watching it again, I forgot that the car scene is not as long as it is.
No,
I really
it's not very long at all.
expected it to soak up some more time, but then all of a sudden they're
very quick.
in New York making that round, and it's like, oh wow.
Yeah, and then 5 years later down the road, at the airport, Harry meets up with one of his colleagues who's at the DA's office over in New York, and he's making out with this woman right before they get ready for a flight. Happens to be Sally, and Sally looks at Harry, and they don't really recognize each other because it's been 5 years, and that was such a one-off event for them, right? So later on the plane, he's like, wait, University of Chicago. And they switch seats, and she's mortified because she's like, oh, this guy again. So ends up still not having great feelings for each other. Mm-hmm. They get off the plane and then go from there. Another 5 years go by, and they run into each other, at a different situation. It's
I'm trying to think.
I don't remember the third time they meet up. But
you know what? she's at a bookstore with her friend.
Oh yeah. And then
and then she's like, oh, I bet he doesn't even remember me. And then he goes, Sally
Albright, yes. And so,
Sally Albright.
yeah, and so he remembers her that time. And so, like, every couple of years, you get that pickup of, hey, we remember you, I remember you.
Chronically, they say it's 12 years.
It's 12 years.
The time
yeah,
because
it aired in 89. Yeah. Or it not aired. I'm talking like a TV person. It came out in 89. It takes place in 1989. But the movie starts in 1977 at the University of Chicago.
Yeah.
Where they just meet and then they go from there. So the whole thing of when Harry met Sally, you think, oh, immediately they're gonna love each other. They don't like each other until 1989. Like
not even close. Yeah,
like they're not friends. They're not anything.
10 years go by.
Yeah, and they even like pitched that. Or Sally pitched that idea. She was like, "How about we become friends? You're the only person I'm gonna know in New York when I get there." And he's like, "Nah, I'm good." Yeah, and eventually they do become friends.
And then he goes, "Have a good life."
Yeah.
Or she goes, "Have a good life," or something. Yeah. Like,
and so they eventually do become friends after meeting up so many times, and they just decide, why not become friends, and they do.
And Harry realizes that he's like, I'm not, drawn to you in that way.
Yeah.
And so it made
and she's
so
not really drawn to him.
It made it so obvious that, they can be friends.
Yeah. And so it's interesting because that friendship they become very close. I mean, like they'll call each other talking about Casablanca.
The first night when they're like literally just, I also loved the way the movie was done with the whole split screen camera
that was
shots.
so good. And I was like, I wish more movies would do the split screens where they're on the phone.
I think that's such a great,
I think they don't do that anymore because of how cell phones are. Maybe, but you can still do that.
I was gonna say you still FaceTime, so it's still very similar. So it would.
Usually they snap back and forth between shots, between texting and calling. Either way,
the beginning of Why Him?
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that movie a little bit, but that's kind of what happened. They were on FaceTime and they displayed it down on screen. Anyway,
but they also do the whole thing where they do it. If you're doing a text, they have the bubble chain, like, "Hey, would you?" and then it just pops up on the screen. I do like when they do that too on any movie. But they have the phone calls because back in the day they didn't have cell phones like we do now, and so they're on the phone talking, and they have the split screen. They're both watching Casablanca on the same TV channel back when you watched movies on TV and didn't stream them. Again, there's a lot of things that I'm like, it's not that foreign to me, but I'm pretty sure it was probably you're like, what is happening? There's no internet. They're with the movie, that movie's it's a classic, by the way, classic cinema.
That's a good one.
Humphrey Bogart, it's a Humphrey Bogart movie, so you already know it's good. But they talk about like, oh, why would you leave? And it's kind of interesting. At first, he's like, I totally don't get why she would leave him if he owns a bar and it's the best, lover ever. It's like that doesn't make sense. And the other one's like, well, I think it makes total sense. They're trying to, why wouldn't you want to be a princess over in Czechoslovakia or whatever, or go live in Czechoslovakia? And so it's like their opinions kind of were very different, than they kind of very similar how their relationship. They're very like this, and then they start to sync up a little bit more.
I was gonna say in Harry Met Sally, you see the same type of thing where she's very standoffish towards the fact that people are horrible, people are only this way, set in a certain way, and then
she's very particular.
She experiences life, and then kind of like not agrees with Harry because obviously Harry's the one that ultimately changes his tune. But it does seem like she adopts some of his mannerisms in the city life. Maybe it's from living in New York. I assume that makes it rougher.
What also too is that Harry gets married in that time period too before they finally become friends
and divorced.
Obviously. And they talk about a divorce. What I love is that every jump or in between scenes, not every scene, but in between scenes, they have these old elderly couples that are like, we've been married since high school sweethearts. Then we were drifted away, and then we came back. So they have that story too. We're drifting away, come back, drifting away, come back.
Yeah.
Which is also a kind of a theme in this story too, is drifting away and coming back.
They have one pair that is technically supposed to be Harry and Sally when they're older, and they're reviewing this in the first clip when they pop up, and it's
really I didn't think about that
because I looked it up because I was confused for a second.
I didn't know that. Realize it was them.
The other couples are just random couples that are just like.
But they have cute stories. I love listening to those. They were very cute stories.
That's such an adorable.
I think it's a great way to cut up the movie too, so it's not just constantly going. And it's something I think you could get away with about 30, 40 years ago. You could not do that now.
You don't think so?
No, because a lot of people want the attention span thing.
Yeah, it is.
We don't have the attention spans for that.
In my head, it would be very jarring.
Yeah.
But I also think it would be somewhat refreshing in a movie that's.
It's refreshing to me because I've never seen it before.
Yeah.
So to have those little breaks that are still related to the movie, but are not like if you got rid of those, you could still watch the movie perfectly fine.
Absolutely.
So, but I like the change of pace kind of deal.
Yeah, it's very different.
And then at the last one they do is Harry and Sally. Their relationship and their story about how 12 years and whatever. And then as soon as they say I love you, you know, or they kiss, they at the end, spoilers.
They do.
They and on New Year's, I consider that a New Year's movie. That's a New Year's movie in my book. It's not, you know, very few.
It can be a holiday movie in that realm. But yeah,
I consider that a New Year's movie, even though it's not purely one. But they have a lot of emphasis on New Year's. Anyway,
true. All right, we're buzzing through this podcast episode. I know we got to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere, y'all. We got more coming up right after this. Alrighty, everyone, we're back from a break. We took a little pause just to chill. Actually, these breaks last like two seconds long. Don't
ruin the magic of TV.
What? That's okay. But yeah, we're rolling and going.
Because we're really getting into Harry Met Sally. Harry Met Sally.
It's a great movie.
It's a great movie. It's a Rob Reiner movie. You know, great to watch since he's passed away. Him and his wife passed away tragically, you know, recently. So I think it's a good movie to kind of remember that. One of his better movies, I would say. Not that he has bad movies, but one of his better, more notable movies. That and The Princess Bride too, which is another movie that Billy Crystal's in.
Inconceivable.
That's a different. You know, that's a different character, right? The one he's like that little hot. He's like the wizard guy that brings him back.
He's like this.
Yeah, he's a weird. Yeah,
he's trying to like poison him. And
that's the guy who plays the professor. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. He's been in a bunch of movies. He's a really good actor.
Yeah.
He plays. I'm trying to think. Oh, he plays Rex in Toy Story.
He does.
Yeah.
He does. He's a couple other voiced characters.
Yeah, voice character, but he's a really good actor. He's also, you know, in Young Sheldon and everything, but that's one of his later roles. Anyway, love him as an actor. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. I'm going to be mad when you tell me it. Anyway, yeah, Harry Met Sally, we're dissecting it a little bit because it's a good movie. We're getting ready for Valentine's Day, and I think it's a movie that you should watch on Valentine's Day.
Absolutely.
Do that with the binge. Binge with your boyfriend. Binge with your significant other.
It starts with W.
Walter, William, Wahlberg, Wally.
Wally is very close.
West.
Wally is short for this name.
Walter.
Wall. It starts with still Wall. It's not Walter.
Just tell me.
He said Wally Wallace. Shawn.
Oh yeah. That's
Wallace.
Yeah, see, I'm now kicking myself. Yeah, Wallace Shawn is really good.
Didn't realize Maddie Patninkin is in that movie.
Anyway, back to When Harry Met Sally, the other Rob Reiner movie.
Yes.
With Billy Crystal in it also. So yeah, we were talking about how they the whole time it's just their saga of being friends. You know, he's recently divorced, they become friends, and then they start, you know, they don't really date. That's the thing. You never see them date in the movie. Because what happens is, you know...
Well, you know what? I consider the scenes where they're walking
through
Central
fun.
Park. Right.
We're
having a good time.
Going to the museum.
Because that is, I think the true theme is that is a lot of what dating is you're learning to have fun with this person, enjoy the time, and that's what Harry
except they don't
realizes.
I think they start... We were talking about this earlier. And at work during the shows, that they start realizing they might like each other. When they have the first New Year's Eve party, it's like they both don't have dates, you know.
Yes.
They go and they start dancing with each other, and it's just like,
they do like a friend kiss, you know.
Yeah.
Like, Happy New Year.
Yeah.
You know.
But they're holding each other, and you can see their faces. They just go, ooh, I think I like her. I think I like him.
Mm-hmm.
And then
it's the dancing too.
Right.
You see Sally go like, almost furrowing her brow a lot, where she's like, why am I questioning this
What's
now?
funny is they do a double date with another friend, a couple of those. A friend of it's his friend Jesse.
Yeah,
Jess
and
her friend, I forget her name, but
Marie.
the two Marie, and they go on a double date, and so, you know, Harry and Sally already know each other and everything, so they're, you know, talking, but yeah, Jess doesn't really find anything interesting about romantically, I'm saying, for Sally. And, you know, Marie is not that interested in the personality of Harry. And so it ends up being that they switch at the end of the night, which I knew that was coming. As soon as I saw them, I'm like, oh, they're going to switch. Like, we already know it's going to happen.
You know, as soon as you hear them start to gab,
and they get married and everything, and they're at the wedding, and they even say, like, as they're having a fight, they're having a big fight, Harry and Sally. We wouldn't have had this without Harry and Sally. And they're just like, this is awkward because we hate each other right now.
Yeah, we hate each other. And also the scene where they're saying, you know, do you take Jess to be your lawfully wedded husband or something? And he says, I do. And he's like, you may now kiss the bride. And then Harry and Sally are looking at each other, and it's like this man, this should be us. Like we should be getting married. And
See, I
obviously
think
they
it's like
haven't
I think it's
admitted
just they think that, but they also want to shove that back too.
Right. The
Yeah.
feeling of, I can't be friends with a woman without romantic intentions is still burning through Harry's mind to the point where he's denying his true heart.
Also watching, there's a scene where Jess is talking to Harry at a Giants game, New York Giants game.
Yes.
And then, Marie is talking to, they're just two separate this is before they get married. I'm jumping back a bit,
this is when it comes back to meeting Harry again.
Yeah,
well,
it's like
now getting divorced.
And he's talking to Jess about Iris Stone, and his ex-wife basically just leaving him and leaving him high and dry. And it's funny because they're having this conversation. I did find it funny when they're all around the stadium. There's, they're doing the wave, and so like they're having a serious, sad conversation while watching a football game. Should be a fun event, and then just
they just have to stand.
I just like that scene because they're like having a serious conversation. They're watching a football game. They do the
and
wave.
Randomly have to like. Woo!
Anyway.
Also, the diner scene when Sally is going
everyone's like,
crazy.
I'm sure everyone's like, if you're talking about Harry Met Sally, you got to talk about the diner scene. I've seen the diner scene before. I watched this movie before because
I forgot about it and I was not prepared.
The reason I remember it
I was even getting embarrassed in my apartment.
Yeah,
just
by yourself,
watching this
right?
alone, going like.
That's why you don't watch it with kids, folks. The diner scene's really good, but what I will say,
very obnoxious from Sally. This is definitely a moment where like. Kids, go do the dishes,
But the thing I like about it, what I think about every time I think of that is that I remember watching The Simpsons. I'm making a Simpsons reference. Of course I am.
Naturally.
Rob Reiner is trying to get a football team to come to LA instead of Springfield, where The Simpsons are. And, he's like, hi, I'm Rob Reiner. I produced When Harry Met Sally. I'll have what she's having. Remember the line from the movie? And I'm like, huh. I do remember. Okay, that must be a famous line. I look it up and I'm like, oh, YouTube was like, oh, give me the whole thing. I'm like, oh, when I first saw it, I was just like, whoa, this is a lot different. I remember I made that joke to my parents. They're like, don't ever say that again.
I'll have what she's having.
And they're just like, Adam, don't make that reference again. I'm like, I don't know what you're referring to. I'll have what she's having.
Yeah.
But found out that that's his mom. Rob Reiner, that's Rob Reiner's.
Who says I'll have what she's having?
Double check it again, but I'm pretty sure Ethan told me that one of our producers. He was like, yeah, I think it's Rob Reiner or Billy Crystal's mom, who says I'll have what she's having. Very obnoxious scene, but it does get the point across. And yeah, I think you could taste the secondhand embarrassment from everybody in that building.
Yeah.
Also makes me want to go to a diner too. Also makes me want to go to a diner too and get a pastrami on rye.
Yes, the woman who is famously saying "I'll have what she's having" in the 1989 film "When Harry Met Sally" is Estelle Reiner, the mother of the film's
Okay, so it is Rob's mom. Rob Reiner, man. But yeah,
R.I.P. Man. Taken too soon, and I remember him from New Girl. He's he's Jessica's dad, and he obviously makes that show what it is in a large spell of it because it's Rob, he's just carrying such a heavy sword.
Well, his father was a legend too. I mean, his father's a huge Carl Reiner. I mean, come on. I mean, he was big with back in the 50s when they started doing farted. Oops. When they started doing funny bits and comedy back in the 50s, like with Dick Van Dyke, the same era. So that's a huge legendary era for comedies, the 50s and early 60s.
Legacy
when TV was first getting
for sure.
And so Rob carried that over, and so I mean. We're having sirens in the background. They've come for us. They found us.
Marvel knows we're giving out spoilers.
Oh no, we're not really.
Spider-Man dies.
No. Anyway, I'm using my glasses right now.
I was gonna say
I like using my glasses as a pointer. I feel like I started the show with them, and I want to show they're still here.
Let me think.
Hypotenuse. Anyway.
Hypotenuse.
But Rob Reiner has made some class. Again, another one is The Princess Bride.
Absolutely.
Great movies. What was I saying? We were talking about Rob Reiner.
Talking about his dad.
But
we were talking about him just being in the movie and Harry Met Sally.
Yeah.
His mother.
His mother plays the
one that says,
"I'll have what she's having." But it makes me want to go to a deli in New York. Actually,
it makes me want to go to a diner again. We gotta run it back at Mariette's.
We will at some point. I don't know when. We'll figure it out.
A local shout out.
So great movie. The ending when they've already fought. I'm not gonna tell you why they fought. we won't get that far, but there is a reason why, and it's like, oh, it changes all the dynamics because there's a moment where it changes all the dynamics, and they go back to just hating each other again, even though they don't really hate each other.
They know that they're perfect for each other. They just don't want to admit it. But
yes,
yeah, there is a moment, and that is one of those pivotal like plot moments where
because she found out her
pretty big spoiler.
Her ex is getting married, and she's upset. Sally's upset because oh no, he's getting married. It wasn't me, And I've had that situation. I don't know if you've had that situation before, where you've had a friend who had a significant other they were really attached to. They broke up, and then their old significant other, their ex, gets married, and they're just like devastated. Because I've had that happen to me multiple times from different people. They're just like sad about it or upset about it.
Well, I think because
you're still attached. I mean, even
though loss and love.
It's grief. It's grieving.
Yeah, and it's a part of that you kind of learn from it and appreciate whatever you've learned from that relationship.
Yeah.
But it never leaves. I feel like that's the true definition of being a very caring person.
I think what's interesting is that the whole time, you can see that not Billy's, but Harry, he says he's fine. You can see he's not. And then really Sally is like, oh, I am fine. It's totally fine. And then it's like, no, she's not. He's definitely not. And they have multiple times where they run into Ira and Stone and his ex-wife, and he's just like, I'm fine. Then he just snaps later at the friend's house.
Yeah, he just
then he hugs Sally and he's like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to snap, but that's how guys are. We don't really do emotions as differently.
It's not, understood that we're supposed to.
Yeah, he doesn't manage it well. So that's his character, doesn't manage it well. So anyway, I like how those two moments. The second time when she sees that he's getting married, or she sees that Joe's getting married, that was the same boyfriend that she was kissing and at the beginning.
That's right.
At the airport when they're kissing each other.
That's
the same one. So she gets heartbroken. Harry comes over because it's her friend, his friend. They're friends. He wants to help out his friend. Then all of a sudden, they go from there, and it changes all the dynamics. From there, they fight at Jess and Marie's wedding, and then from there, they're spending New Year's just alone, which is weird because we just saw the last New Year's that they were together, and they were enjoying each other's company as friends.
It's a good one. That's for
and then he's like, this is fine. I'll be by myself, no big deal. And then it just kind of eats away at him that he's not with Sally. She's at the party and she hates it. She's not having fun. She's not enjoying.
She's about to leave. And
she's about to leave, and it's like, you won't never get a taxi. And so she sticks around, and
Rob is like Harry is sprinting.
He's full bore running to go to that party that he originally wasn't going to go to. What?
We're going to wrap up the movie coming up right after this break. Don't go anywhere. I know. I'm sorry, Adam. Welcome back to the show. We're talking binging with the boys.
Wrapping up a movie.
We are binging with the boys. We are them. But we're talking with our boy Adam Sherwinski here. How we doing?
We're doing good.
We're wrapping up Harry Met Sally.
Yes, that dissection there. Which
I
think took a lot more time than I thought we was going to originally take.
I was going to say this.
But because we both just watched it. It's fresh.
And it's good.
It's a good movie. So yeah, it goes, as I mentioned, he was running to go see Sally, and he professes his love.
Like I said,
it's my favorite quote.
Too.
It's one of my favorite quotes when he's talking about how much he loves these little intricacies that she has, about how complicated her orders are, about how she wrinkles her head when this happens, and this happens when you get cold in 71-degree weather. Like the things that he says to her are all these things that would usually bother people. He ends up loving about her. And, she's like, I hate you. And he's like, I love you. And it's like, she's like, I hate you. And then all of a sudden she just finally admits, I love you. And so they kiss. And then it goes to one of those cute scenes that we talked about earlier, where it's them at the couch talking about we met this many years ago, and they tell their love story, and we got married 4 months after. And I'm like, that's such a quick turnaround, which how do weddings, I feel like weddings take forever to plan. Engagements are always a year.
Yeah, the wedding side is
I'm
really
like, how'd
crazy.
you get a wedding venue in 4 months?
Yeah, first of all, where did you find it? Well, back in the day, maybe.
But now it's it's a whole thing. You got to wait a year and a half maybe to get a good spot.
He says this. This is
what's the exact quote?
Full quote. He said, Harry tells Sally,
speaking to the mic, young man.
I love that you get cold when it's 71 degrees out. I love that it takes you an hour and a half to order a sandwich. I love that you get a little crinkle above your nose when you're looking at me like I'm nuts. I love that after I spend the day with you, I can still smell your perfume on my clothes. And I love that you are the last person I want to talk to before I go to sleep at night. And it's not because I'm lonely. It's not because it's New Year's Eve. I came here tonight because when you realize you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, you want the rest of your life to start as soon as possible.
Is that cheesy?
No.
Sure. Hold on.
You know
Sure.
what? Yes.
It could be cheesy. It could be. But the way it's executed, the way that Billy's very matter of fact with it when he delivers it as Harry, just it tells you that's something I feel like you could say. It's not too schmaltzy. It's not too gooey. It's straight up. Like he's like, all these imperfections are what I love about you. You are my best friend, and I want to spend the rest of my life with you because you're my best friend. Even with all those weird kind of things you do, I love those. And
quirky things.
So yeah, I think that's interesting because there are probably you've had that where you've had somebody that you really care for, and it's like they just do the weirdest stuff.
You got to be cheesy with it. Yeah.
And you know what? I love it. Even though it's weird, I don't personally like the thing, but I also love that you do it. It's like I don't like it, but I also love it.
I feel like it's a cliche for a reason when it's like these quirky things we don't like, but we end up liking it, liking them in spite of them, or sometimes even because they do these goofy things. But it's also a cliche, and they end up being cliches for a reason because it happens over and over and over, and we don't realize that human nature revolves around I guess accepting everyone for the goofiness.
And this is not. I think it's a good rom-com because, like I said, it's got a lot of comedy. Billy Crystal is just going at it. As Billy Crystal, he would make his observations, say things, but it's not too goopy of a movie. It's very straight up. Like this is what romance is to a certain degree.
And Harry is not a very
goopy
style.
Mi amor. No, he's not like that. He's not. He's romantic, I guess, but not to the degree you would see on typically for other leads in a romantic comedy movie. He's not like, this is my mi amor, I love you, I cannot live without you.
This is my mi amor.
Yeah, no, it's more like, I love you because of all the weird things you do. I love those things, even though they're weird.
Yeah.
So, I love documentaries. I think documentaries are great.
I love documentaries. They're so informative, engaging.
Makes you think. Makes you want to look into things too.
Makes me want to like get my camera out and start shooting.
It makes you want to learn.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah. So, listen, we got to run in a minute here. We got a minute left on our show. But
oh no! What are you excited about, Mitchell?
I'm excited for a lot of the Marvel projects coming out. They're going to be really good this year.
Spider Noir.
We've been getting some teases for Spider Noir, live action Nicolas Cage show coming out on Prime. I want to say it looks pretty good. But how's your back?
Good. I just had to readjust. That's all.
Some things. Another point is take care of your back, guys. When you are lifting,
don't
be
don't
careful.
embarrass me.
No. But it happens to all of us.
Yeah.
But when it does happen, take precautions.
I think it's just the way I'm sitting right now. This chair is not that comfortable for me.
Left and right.
So
it gets a little tough. That's for sure. But I'm excited for Spider-Man Noir. Seeing a little teasers come out, or seeing at least pictures of the set. We're supposed to get a rumor is we're supposed to get a trailer for Brand New Day this week, but I don't see anything just yet. So
who knows?
We're still waiting.
Adam? That's all I got.
Awesome. It's been great. We'll see you guys in the next one. We've been binging with the boys. Don't forget to follow, like, and share this video wherever you can. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.